Hey y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Think Hallmark, but make it black, and you will find yourself somewhere over here. Ruth and Boaz, the brand new Tyler Perry produced film, came out on Netflix today, and I was actually here for it. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, love upon it, give along, leave it. My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? But you guys, I didn't know what to expect going into this, right? Because all I heard was Tyler Perry, and y'all know it's a 50-50 chance. You know what I mean? Of what we're going to get. But when I found out he was just the EP and that we had Alanna Brown as the director and the screenplay written by Michael Elliot and Cory, I said, okay, we might be cooking with some hot grease over here. And sure enough, we were. Of course, this movie is based on the biblical story, loosely based, I'll add, on the biblical story of Ruth and Boaz. If you're unfamiliar with scripture as it relates to Ruth and Boaz, Ruth was the daughter-in-law of Naomi. Naomi had two sons and a husband, and unfortunately, both of her sons and her husband, right? The other son's wife goes on about her life, goes on to be with her people, but Ruth says to Naomi, I'm going with you. Where you lay, I'll lay. Your people will become my people, and that's just how it's going to be, right? So they travel and they go to Naomi's people's land. Now, Ruth is a Moabitess, and we need to make some money because we have no men working. And so she goes to glean in the fields. Basically, she's a harvester, and the field is owned by Boaz. And now, while this is great and everything like that, and Naomi is giving her that game, like, you know, at night when it comes time, go and uncover his feet, and, you know, we'll see what's popping. Basically, she was like, go there, do a good job, and this is going to happen. We start seeing Boaz making arrangements, like leave a little bit of grain for Ruth to pick up. I see her out here working. I see her gleaning in the field, right? But we find out that there's a closer kinsman redeemer for the family, meaning if Ruth is going to be married off to somebody, it needs to be the closest relative. And so basically Boaz says, listen, cover yourself up, cover my feet up, going about your way. I'm going to go talk to him and see if he wants to marry you, what's going to happen. And if he doesn't, I'll marry you. Come to find out the man doesn't. They do the sandal thing. He says, all right, girl, let's get married. Let's make our life. And from this marriage, King David comes out of it, right? That's kind of in a nutshell. Over here, they do something different. We meet Ruth Mobley, who's a part of a hip hop singing group run by the man, this Caucasian man, who she owes everything. He's been paying her rent for years, and an 8-figure deal is on the table with Jermaine Dupri, right? But this isn't her song, right? This isn't the song in her spirit. She's actually very reserved, very quiet. She doesn't want to do this type of music. She just feels indebted to him, right? She's got this boyfriend who comes from an affluent family, and all of the things, and thinks he's just the bee's knees. Well, when she decides that she's going to leave this dynamic duo of a group, the man says, I'm leaving here with something. You're not just going to leave me. You owe me $250,000. You're under contract with me. So if you leave, I'm going to take it. And she leaves anyway. Next thing we know, her boyfriend and her boyfriend's father, Naomi's son and husband, are unalived in a carjacking. We later find out it was her manager who did all of this, right? And so once finding that out, Naomi finds out that her husband was a degenerate and didn't provide for her. The house is being foreclosed on. She has to go back to Pegram, Tennessee, which is where they're from, and to this shack that he kept in her name for all these years. And my thing is, if you're balling out of control like that, why wouldn't you maintain this property that you had in Tennessee? I just didn't get it. Why keep it as a shack, honey? Wore out. And so anyway, Ruth says, really not because of her devotion really to Naomi, but the fact that I also really need to get out of the town. And this is where I feel like it deviates from the original story, because in the Bible, it's about her love for Naomi and the fact that I'm not going to leave you alone, right? And Naomi, you know, in the Bible saying, I can't have any more sons. You need to go off, be married. You're still young. You're still beautiful. You can do all of these things. And Ruth didn't give a damn about any of that. It was about my devotion to my mother-in-law. And here we really see this is like, well, I'll kind of be safe. I kind of want to look out for Naomi, but maybe not, because we do get, in true Phylicia Rashad fashion, honey, we get some side eye of who Ruth is. And so as she moves there, she really discovers who Ruth is. Ruth hasn't graduated from college or from high school. And so she finds basically a day labor job at a vineyard. We come to find out this vineyard is run by Boaz, and Naomi just happened to know his father, happened to know his people. And she's like, I wonder what he's doing there. Boaz sees her from afar and is like, you that girl, I like you. And she's not giving him any play because, right, I'm in this place. So eventually they develop a relationship, a chemistry. He sees her talent. He sees the things in her, and ultimately falls in love with her completely. And she still won't tell him what's really going on, that this man is looking for her, may find her, and all of that. So they get into it. They're going really strong. So we think, honey, Babyface is in here and she's singing and she's living her best life. These people come, honey, and burn down his vineyard. He been putting all his stocks in this 2017 reserve wine, and it's just a mess. Ultimately, Naomi kind of has to deal with the grief and the relationship, and also the fact that she loves Ruth unconditionally. We discover that Ruth came from a broken home. She didn't have a mother or a father. She went to multiple foster homes and really had never had this loving dynamic before. Ultimately, the bad guys get got, and they end up happily ever after. The wine was not ruined. It was actually better than ever. They get married. Naomi's there because now this is my mother. I'm her daughter, and I have all of the things. Again, this has a runtime of about an hour and a half. It's not the story, but you get dramatic effect. I think this is very Hallmark adjacent. It's very fall vibes. Okay. They have some beautiful scenes as far as the leaves changing in the water. If you need fall vibes, I can definitely see this being replayed. It'll be replayed in this house. It was positive for the most part. I think it's wholesome. So if you have kids, it's not really an issue of them watching it, but you guys let me know. Overall, definitely sweet in my opinion. I'll be watching this again, but let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Again, I thought it was an interesting interpretation of a well-known biblical story, and baby, the Boaz was Boazing. Yeah, Tyler Lepley, he did well over here, in my opinion. But you guys drop it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you loved it. What was your feeling about the deviation from the original story? I'm very curious to see what you say. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hype me up, all right? And I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.